Last week, I talked about the lack of Jewish rights on the Temple Mount. In 1967, right after the IDF liberated the Western Wall and Temple Mount, Israel gave back all practical sovereignty of the Temple Mount to the Muslim administration. As a result, a situation developed where Jews restricted themselves to praying at the Western Wall and left the Temple Mount to the Muslims. Until recently, very few Jewish people have challenged the status quo. One reason this is the case is because soon after Israel liberated the holy places in 1967, the chief rabbinate issued a ban on Jews visiting the Mount. Believing that the presence of God still loomed over the Holy of Holies, the rabbinate said they feared Jews would accidentally encroach on the sacred space. The political and rabbinic policies aligned perfectly. Telling Jews not to visit the Mount placated the Muslim masses. However, not all of Israel's religious leaders agreed with the Temple Mount ban. Groups like the Temple Mount Faithful and the Temple Institute emerged as outspoken voices for resuming Jewish worship on the Temple Mount. They claimed the rabbinate's ban was just an excuse to avoid conflict. The Temple Mount is plenty large enough to avoid the area that once housed the Holy of Holies. For years, the Temple movement groups were considered part of a religious Zionist fringe. But in recent years, the number of groups promoting Jewish rights on the Mount has multiplied tenfold. The voices of the Temple movement leaders, like Gershon, Soloman, and Yehuda, Glick, are becoming mainstream. Reflecting the overall change in attitude, many rabbis are starting to withdraw their bans on visiting the Mount. Most telling of all, the number of Israelis visiting the Mount nearly doubled over the last year. Even Israeli members of the Knesset are daring to visit the Mount as a statement of Jewish sovereignty. For now, all Jews seeking a spiritual experience on the Temple Mount are restricted to walking the courtyard and forbidden to show any religious expression. Each month, Jews who look like they might even think about praying are arrested by Israeli police. The police fear the backlash that would ignite if a Jew was seen praying on the Temple Mount. Surely, though, as more rabbinic leaders encourage their faithful to ascend the Mount, the legalization of Jewish prayer on the Mount will become harder to deny. As Temple Institute leader Yehuda Glick has said, the first goal is for Jews to become a normal part of the scenery on the Temple Mount. And for now, no one can stop them from praying in their head while they're there. Shavua Tov.